Hey everyone, Effie here. Today I'm going to show you how to layer our Daisy Duet stencils. There are 3 petal layers and then 1 foliage layer with an additional daisy center element in there. Each stencil has some etched numbers on them. They're nice and large, and then there are some additional instructions on the stencils etched right on them. As for stencil 1, there's an additional daisy center element in the daisy centers, so I'll show you how to blend those areas in just a sec. We're going to start off by taping stencil 1 to our white cardstock, and then we're going to blend this first layer with our Ballet Slippers dye ink. But we're going to blend the 2 daisy centers with our Spice Chai dye ink, and then we're going to take that dark ink and blend off the 4 corners of the stencil and onto the cardstock to create our registration marks. Then we're going to take that stencil off and we're going to put stencil 2 right inside those 4 registration marks. But here's a closer look at 2. There's a large etch 2 right on the top left corner of this stencil. There's also additional instructions etched on the top portion of this. It's a second layer petal midtone. And we used our Hollywood Star dye ink for stencil 2. Once we're done with 2, we're going to put stencil 3 in its place. We're going to cover up the 2 daisy center elements on the bottom edge of stencil 3 and blend the entire stencil with our Cosmopolitan pink hybrid ink. And then we're going to take the stencil off and just shift it upwards and blend these 2 areas in the center of the 2 daisies. We're going to use our Aspen Cocoa dye ink, which is a nice deep brown. You can mask off the edges of the stencil to make sure that you don't blend off the edges and onto your blended panel. So here I'm just using some Post-its to do that. Now stencil 3 is done. For stencil 4, there are actually 3 elements on this stencil. You have the foliage portion of the daisies, 2 daisy centers, and then this middle portion is actually the 4th layer of your petals. So we're just going to go ahead and place stencil 4 right inside our registration marks, and we're going to blend the foliage portions with our bright Fern ink, which is our lighter green ink. And then for the areas of the foliage that are closest to the daisy petals, we're going to blend those areas with our deep emerald ink. This adds shading and contrast to our foliage without the need of an additional stencil. So once we're done blending the foliage, we're going to go ahead and blend the centers of the daisies with our warm hazelnut ink, and then we're going to blend the center of the stencil with our Valentine red dye ink, and this is that 4th petal layer. It just adds a little bit more shading and depth to our finalized panel. So we do have a coordinating die and stamp sold separately. They have the same name. It's called Daisy Duet. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.